Are you finding your journey to success way harder than you thought it would ever be? Or are you afraid to even start your journey to success because you are so full of self-doubt and fear? Hey, look, on my channel, I share all the golden nuggets I learned from my own journey to success so that you can avoid making these mistakes for yourself. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell so you get notified every time I post, which is every Tuesday and every Friday. If you are riding a journey to success and you seem to be fading short of the success that you really want, then I will show you in this video how to identify and resolve those challenges so you can cut through the waves and swim through the stormy sea called reality. So here goes. Let's start by checking out this visual. Our initial thought as we set our goals for the future is enthusiasm, excitement. We see our journey as just straight, smooth sailing upwards to our goals, only to realize that reality isn't that way at all. Reality is more like the bottom picture. It's more like getting on your bike, starting to ride that journey with excitement, only to fall into the first ditch. And then with strength and encouragement, you manage to climb through that first challenge, through that first ditch, and you carry on riding still with enthusiasm, still with motivation, only to fall into the second ditch, and so on until you reach your goal. Now, too many people don't push through until they reach the goal because the ditch that they're in right now, the challenge that they're in right now seems too big for them to overcome. And really, there's something there to help you ride across those stormy seas. You just have to open your eyes and see it and use it. So in this video, I'm going to help you see each challenge for what it is and how you can use the facilities, use what you have around you to help you to overcome and override those challenges one by one. So we start riding our journey and we hit the first ditch, which we will call overwhelm. Overwhelm is madly common and is usually the first to hit us hard. It's our mind's way of saying, too much information. I don't know how to deal with it. I don't know what to do with it. Now I want to shed some light on overwhelm and what it really is. If you look at all the things you feel overwhelmed by and the things that are put at the bottom of your list because you're procrastinating doing them, what is the one thing that if it would be in place, you would be able to override that challenge of overwhelm? And usually it's a piece of knowledge. It's a piece of information that you don't know. It's a piece of knowledge or skill that you still need to learn to be able to overcome that challenge of overwhelm. So simply put, overwhelm is just not knowing enough. So next time you find yourself in overwhelm mode, just identify it as a piece of information that's missing, that if you would have it, it would help you move forward. What is that piece of information that's missing? And then, hey presto, out of overwhelm. And now you continue riding your journey, feeling wonderful, feeling enthusiastic, only to find yourself in ditch number 2, self-doubt. Now that you've learned something new and you've implemented it and you've carried on riding your journey, you suddenly think to yourself, hey, wait, am I normal? What have I done here? Why do I even think I'm going to be able to do this? Why do I think I can be as good as someone else who's already doing it? And so on and so on and so on. And I'm sure you can relate to this monkey mind that keeps chattering and chattering all the time. This is our mind going into panic mode and doing whatever it can to stop us from taking action. Please, please do yourself one favor and do not stop here. You need to start training your mind that you can do this. You need to start training your mind that you have a new message and it's okay. It's not as scary as it looks. A good way to overcome this simply is by asking yourself, what is a worst case scenario? If you were to carry on and you would succeed or fail, what would be the worst case scenario? And usually what you'll notice is that it's not as big as it feels. So now you can tell your mind to kindly move out of the way because you're coming through. It's not as bad as you think it may be. If you want more of a long-term solution to this, then I did a previous video of teaching your mind how to understand the messages that you're giving it and how to stop allowing your mind to control you, but rather you control your mind. And Dr. Joe Dispenza is one of those people who teach it to us so brilliantly that I have created a 30-day meditation challenge which you can have access to. I will put the link in the description below. Phew! Onwards and forwards until you hit ditch number 3. Results don't show. What do you do when results don't show? Do we quit or do we push through and just show up regardless? I can show you in history countless of people who are successful today only because they showed up again and again and again and again. They became better at it. They learned from their mistakes. They changed the little tips and the little tricks. They found the mentors. Whatever the case, they kept at it. I love how Les Brown says the hardest time for him to show up, to be that motivational speaker, was when he wasn't there yet. He was still living out of his office when he had to show up in front of a crowd and say, keep at it. You can do this. Really? Who do you think you are? The results haven't even shown up in your life. And yet he kept at it. He didn't stop because he was hungry for it and didn't let anything stop him. I can hardly imagine what his life would look like today had he called it quits when the going got too hard. So, I think you got the point. Just keep at it. Take your eyes off the destination and keep it on your journey. Don't ever stop riding it. Find that ship, find that vehicle to help you cross the stormy seas. Which brings me to ditch number 4, perception. Do you know what's really interesting? If I tell you to quickly scan the room around you and write in the comments all the red things you see in front of you, I'm sure you'll be able to find plenty red things. Not only that, you'll even find the things that are burgundy or maroon and just call them red because you're so focused on finding that red. Now, if I ask you how many green things did you see while you were looking for red, you would probably look at me cross-eyed and say, excuse me? None. Why? Because your focus was on red. My point is that because you are focused on the red doesn't mean that there's no green things in the room around you. Everything that you want and everything that you need is right here beside you. Stop putting your focus on just the one way you see it. Stop looking through your one and only lens. You know, I found so many times in business, I was asking for something to show up for me. I was so focused on it showing up the way I saw it logically showing up that I missed the opportunity. It showed up right in front of me in a way I least imagined it would, but I didn't see it. Why? Because my focus was on my own perception, how it should actually come about in my life as opposed to how it really did. So, solution to your perception. It's time to change your lenses and your glasses. Let's just replace them with rose-tinted lenses. The ones that sees even the hidden roses amongst the thorns. The ones that make us say yes and allow that bridge or that ship or that vehicle to present itself in our life in ways that are way better for us, in ways that we could never even imagine. Let's not be blinded anymore. Now when you think you have it all covered, ditch number 6. This ditch is what happens right before a breakthrough. I see this ditch as a huge wave. Think about it. When you're going against a wave in the sea, it has the ability to push you back to shore. Or if you're strong enough, you'll be able to swim right through the wave. I get this all the time. And my best piece of advice is swim through the wave. You will know when this wave hits you, and you will also have that small window of time to make that decision whether you're going to swim through the wave or let the wave throw you back to shore. And this is when I use Mel Robbins' 5-second rule. I count backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I take action, because that window of time is no more than 5 seconds long. So you don't have much time to either sink or sail. And do yourselves a favor and choose sail. Now don't forget that when you choose sail, you've still got to do a little bit of sailing to actually get to your goal. Don't get despondent on the way because you've fallen into a ditch. Don't get despondent because after this big wave, you get another little wave. Or don't get despondent if it doesn't show the way you thought you wanted it to show. Just keep riding, believe, trust, and allow success to show up in your life. Hey, listen, I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please like it, comment below, and if you think anybody else would benefit from hearing this, then feel free to share it with them as well. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next one. Take care.